It's not fielding, it's just...
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our chief support. It is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the British, WBO European, WBA Continental, and vacant Commonwealth Heavyweight Championships. We would first like to extend a big thank you to His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Al-Sheikh. This bout is being brought to you by Stella, Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry, Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, and Gimmick. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Steward in Charge Robin Smith, along with the World Boxing Organization, President Francisco Paco Barcel, Supervisor Fabio of the United States, and the World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Jesus Mendoza, Supervisor Carlos Chavez of Venezuela, CBC Supervisor Deborah Down of England, Timekeeper is John Smith. Our 3 judges assigned, scoring on a 10-point must system, all from England, will be Lee Every, Steve Gray, and Bob Williams. Our referee in charge, third man in the ring, will be John Latham. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing pink trunks and weighed in officially at 232 pounds. Coming to us from London, England, he brings an undefeated record with 12 wins, 11 of his 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the reigning and defending WBO European Heavyweight Champion, Big D, David Adeleye. And his opponent across the ring in this championship contest, fighting tonight out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with blue and weighed in officially at 241 pounds. Hailing from Ipswich, England, he is undefeated with 16 wins. 15 of his 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning and defending British and WBA Continental Heavyweight Champion, Fabio Wardley.
Right, what you're expecting you both, you all being instructions at all times. When I tell you to break, you both break clean, defend yourselves at all times, and the best luck to you below. Touch gloves, touch them up, touch. Come on.
Well, this is a title that's been held by some of Britain's greatest ever heavyweights. Both men are talking about knocking the other one out. There was trouble on the red carpet at the press conference between the pair of them, and there's been this undercurrent of tension throughout the build-up. And just looking at the journey they've both been on to this point, you'd expect this to be explosive, Richie.
Indeed. It could be a quick start here for both boxers. Big punches. And that's the first good shot landed by David Adeleye.
Yeah, David Adeleye with that lead left jab. There was a good solid shot. There is a feeling that whoever lands the first one might turn out to be the winner. Wardley's got 8 stoppages inside 2 rounds compared to 6 for Adeleye, and neither of them have ever been past 6. All the talk in the build-up has been about landing power shots and taking the other one out. Wardley in the white trimmed with blue, he's the champion, and Adeleye in the pink and black.
It's all well and good producing those power shots, Fletch, but you've got to set those power shots up. So you've got to work your jab, establish the distance and space, and then judge it, and then bring that right hand through. So working with the lead hand, you know, it pays dividends, and it's very important to concentrate in the early stages.
Wardley aiming for the Adeleye body. It's the first time that the British title has been fought for on foreign shores, and it's quite a rarity in modern boxing. Two unbeaten heavyweights, knockout specialists in their own rights, are being matched at this stage of their respective careers. It's fantastic they've done it, and we're all excited to see what happens. I think Adelaye's been the more confident in the build-up. He's certainly been the more vocal. Wardley's played it down a little bit. Laura was telling everybody about the rumours earlier. There are rumours about damage to the chin, lack of sparring, whether he's completely ready for tonight. We will find out now, Richie, over how many of these 12 rounds we managed to get through.
Absolutely, Fletch. And we spoke about it before, about using the jab and getting into a contest, and it's going to be really important for both boxers here to get the judgment of distance right, and also to judge the pace right also. Big punches, they take a lot out of each other. Through misses like that, when you miss the target with big shots, that can tire you out. So you've got to judge that pace and distance. This is a 12-round contest, and both these boxers are used to getting their opponents out of there quickly. It's going to be very interesting to see who can judge it best.
Wardley landing to the body. He's been the fighter coming forward more often than not in this first round. A whipping punch just flying over the head of the champion from David Adeleye. 30 seconds to go in the first round. And all of the crowd here know that in any instant, any second of this fight, it could all change, based on the power that both of them possess. There's a great shot from Adeleye. Best punch of the fight so far. Long left hand onto Wardley's chin.
Yeah, that was a nice bit of a lack in concentration there from Wardley, but fair play to Adeleye. Took advantage, and it was a good shot.
Wardley doubling up on the jab. Decent body shot. Nice flurry at the end of the round with the response from Adeleye right at the bell. I talked about the punch that Adeleye was able to land, but he took it well. That's in Francis Ngannou's dressing room. Israel Adesanya in there. So many superstars of combat sports here in Riyadh this week. They'll all be ringside in the Kingdom Arena for the main event. And Ngannou, I've got to say, the odds are stacked against him, but he's been extremely relaxed in the build-up. He's in there smiling, and he's ready for what lies ahead against Tyson Fury.
Fascinating, isn't it?
Very entry, always double downstairs. Bearing up the entry, that's right. He's trying to bait you. He's panicking. He's trying to bait you.
So Adeleye here just working well with his jab. That's a lovely shot, isn't it? That was early on in the contest. So he's boxing well. There's that long looping left around the guard of Wardley towards the end.
Wardley's got the better resume. He's got the single best win on the record as well. Adelaye's got more experience. He learned to box to protect himself on the streets. He's the one with the amateur career to lean on. Wardley went via the white-collar route. And he's done remarkably well to get to this point as the British heavyweight champion. You wonder at some stage whether Wardley's speed could be a factor. He's a fighter who relies on quick reflexes to avoid the punches. And you'd say that Adeleye is probably the more natural heavyweight of the two. They've only boxed 79 rounds between them in the pros, and both of them, Richie, with this knockout percentage above 90%.
Incredible. Adeleye, though, you know, he's a big puncher, just swinging there with that left hook, missing the target. He's got to set it up a little bit better. I think Wardley now started this round. He's obviously listened to his corner. His corner have told him to use his jab a little bit more, and he's come out using that punch. Adelaye's got to settle down a little bit and set up these power shots.
Utmost respect being shown by each man in there, because both individuals know that if they lose concentration for a second, it could be over. That's a great shot by Adeleye. Very, very quick.
That was the perfect on cue, wasn't it there? Just lacking concentration, and then Adeleye comes through with a super crisp, sharp jab.
Wardley had to take one in close as well, as John Latham was trying to break them.
Speed of punch from Adeleye is very good indeed. Sometimes he starts off from too far out, just like he did there, just missed the target. Just got to get a little bit closer, but he's got that speed of punch. over Wardley. And again, a good shot there.
Yeah, working that left jab nicely when Wardley gets in range. David Adeleye, just over a minute to go in the second.
See, Wardley's got to watch what he's doing there. He's actually coming forward, very low lead hand. He's trying to just inch his way forward and work with that shot, but he could leave himself open. He's been caught with a couple of fast jabs. It's not the jab that's the problem, it's that right hand from Adeleye. He throws with speed and power. And by edging forward and coming over your front foot, then that could be a problem for Wardley. He's got to watch it.
Wardley did just wipe his glove over his left eye as well after that previous clinch between the two of them. Inside the final 30 seconds then of the second round. Every punch that lands here cheered to the rafters by the crowd here in Riyadh. It's a decent shot from Wardley with Adelaye's back to the ropes. Maybe the best punch that he's managed to land so far, right towards the end of this second round.
He's moving too much, and you're catching him. Yeah, he's slowing down a bit. Well done.
Dummy. Let's go dummy.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's go dummy.
He's dummy.
Right now. But it's time to win a fight. It ain't about that motherfucking other shit, the street shit, that, David. He's in front of you. Come on, we come to win the belt. You ain't listening.
Good job there from Adeleye. That was a nice shot from him in that round. Wardley had some better work towards the end of it, though. Judged the distance and got very well. But there, Adeleye again gets through with the jab. But Wardley, towards the end of the contest, end of the round, had some good shots of his own, but a good display there from Adelaye's jab.
Wardley beat the former world title challenger Eric Molina 6 fights ago. That looks like the best win that either of them's had. He also had to show some guts tonight. He won this title against Nathan Gorman. The only time he went the distance was in his pro debut back in 2017. Adeleye was taken the distance by Kamil Sokolovsky back in 2021, a fight that a lot of people felt he was fortunate to get the decision in. Stopped 6 in a row since then, though. I think the big question for both of them, Richie, because we haven't really seen it, is how either of them react when they properly get tagged. And that's better work at the start of the third round here from the champion Wardley.
Well, Adeleye just got tagged there. That was a cracking shot from Wardley. That right hand judged the distance very well indeed. And the referee not happy with David Adeleye there.
It's not the first time he's warned it for that, Richie. Not the first time he's warned it with the forearm. So John Latham with a stern ticking off for David Adeleye.
Yeah, it's because he was caught with a cracking shot. It really was a good punch there from Wardley. I think Wardley's boxing fairly well from the outside. Some good stuff coming from him, but look at how dangerous Adeleye is there with that left hook.
Yeah, really good left hook from David Adeleye, just as Fabio Wardley was thinking about opening up, and he sends the right hand in as well. Body shots from the champion and a wild swing with the right hand. Adeleye quickly out of there.
Like I said earlier, Fletch, you know, they have to judge the distance here, the pace of the contest, because they're putting a lot of effort into the power shots. But that can drain you. It really can. If the opponent comes through the attacks, or you miss the target with those heavy shots, then you fatigue a lot quicker.
Most of the instruction to Fabio Wardley in rounds is coming from Ben Davis, and then Robert Hodgins tends to do the talking between rounds. Adeleye swinging that left hand and smiling at the fact he missed by so much. Just stopped throwing the jab as much, hasn't he, Adeleye?
Yeah, he's got to use that a little bit more. Wardley's boxing fairly decent on the outside. taking a few risks with those low hands, but he has fast reactions. He lays back, gets his head and body out of the way, comes forward there with a couple of big punches as well.
Just as Adeleye was back to the ropes, he just seems to have worked out the distance a little bit better now, Wardley.
And you do that with the jab, you know, he's edging forward, measure with the T, and he's got a good layback there, so he's just trying to take the sting out of Adelaye's jab and just lay back and make him miss. But Adeleye is such a ferocious puncher.
Final stages here of the third round. Not a great deal between them. All 3 rounds have been tight, all 3 rounds have been close, and there's the bell to end this one.
Deep breath.
Put your arms down, David.
Chat.
Deep breath, arms down.
Listen, you got his timing, but then don't get no off the timing. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
You have his timing, then what you do, you get off your timing. Stay on your timing.
Hold him there, but that could have been a little bit risky.
He with a jab. Not a
Be aware on the clinch, yeah?
So in the clinch, keep your head tight to his, yeah? So that will prevent any space being created for him to get anything off.
So good success there from Wardley, cracking right hand. That was the one that had Adeleye in a little bit of trouble, and the referee got a little bit angry there with the way Adeleye just brought his elbow up. But nevertheless, Wardley started that attack off with that super right hand. That was a cracking punch.
Final instructions there from Ben Davison. I mean, you've got to admire the fact they've been matched at this stage, Richie. When you see them both with the records they've got, 16-0 for Wardley, 12-0 for Adeleye. All but 2 of the combined fights have ended by a stoppage. British title at heavyweight on the line here in Riyadh. Pink and black for David Adeleye, the white and blue, the Ipswich Town colours for Fabio Wardley, who spent time in their academy as a youngster. David Adeley's got a degree in business management, loves fighting by his own admission. It's the first time that Adeley's fought outside London as a professional. And Wardley just trying to put the punches together now in 1s and 2s, trying to put the combinations together. I think he's the one, Richie, at this stage who's started to grow into the fight.
Yeah, he is. He's working a little bit harder than Adeleye, isn't he, Wardley? Using his jab a little bit better. So volume's coming from Wardley, but you're always looking for Adeleye to produce that power shot. I mean, they're both powerful punchers, but Wardley's been a little bit more busier with that lead hand. He's doing more work. Adeleye has got to do more work with his left hand to set up that power shot of his. He's too far out there. You can see that a mile away. You're not going to hit the target from that distance. You've got to work with that jab, step in with that front foot, measure that distance. Sometimes double the jab up, then send the right hand down.
Well, it's the point that was being made by the corner between rounds. They were saying, look, you've got Wardley's timing, but you're just not letting the punches go correctly. So maybe that was an illustration there.
The only way really you're going to catch Wardley with that type of a shot is if Wardley's coming forward. That's what I spoke about earlier, the way Wardley's just edging occasionally over his front foot. But this is a good attack from him again. Nothing's coming back from Adeleye.
Kind of combinations that nick close rounds.
Yep.
So we're seeing here.
Well-planned attack there from Wardley.
Inside the final minute of the 4th round, and Wardley's been the one coming forward, the one throwing the higher volume of punches. He's the British champion. A couple of jabs setting up another attack for Wardley. Adeleye looked a little bit cautious, didn't really want to let his own punch go, and he only just missed with that one. A big sweeping left hook that might well have grazed the forehead, but nothing more.
Yeah, it's one of those contests, isn't it, that you just cannot lapse in concentration for a second. It looked like all Wardley in that exchange, and then that left hook was just an inch away, probably from landing flush on the target. There it was again. So Wardley's got to watch what he's doing here. They're good attacks from him, but when he gets close, Adeley's dangerous.
Time to get ready for work for Francis Ngannou. Having the hands wrapped, of course, he's wearing the boxing gloves tonight, not the MMA mitts. It's a different challenge that he faces tonight. We know all about his power. The big question is, can he find the punch to land on the chin of Tyson Fury?
You just sitting like this. Look, you're just sitting like this, David. David, listen to me.
Yep.
Toe to toe, toe to toe. Look at...
Let's have a look at some of the work here from Fabio Wardley, Richie.
Yeah, this is where he just gets him on the ropes, and look at that for a shot. If that's just an inch closer to his chin, that connects, and then who knows. So he's very dangerous at Adeleye on the inside, but good attack from Wardley, but he's got to concentrate when he gets up close.
Is that one of those where you feel the breeze on the way past?
Absolutely. You don't want that connecting to your chin, Fletch.
So the 5th round scheduled for 12, and we're moving towards uncharted territory for both of them. Both of them tend to end fights quickly, so the longer this goes, the more they'll have to find out about themselves over a potentially longer distance. Of course, as we keep saying, that they've both got the power to change the fight and end the fight in a split second. And John Latham's had to be busy in there so far. It's been quite scrappy at times.
It has. It's a contest where you've got to learn in the contest. For Wardley, he's having more success when it's boxed mid to long range. That's a lovely shot, long range right on there, but up close, short to mid. And Adeleye is the danger man.
2 good jabs as well, followed up from Fabio Wardley.
You've then got to force your type of contest onto your opponent, Fletch. So it's up to Adeleye to get close, to land those big punches, find a way.
The better work at this stage is coming from the champion, and the greater volume of work is coming from the champion as well. Adelaide's been close, though, a couple of times with low sweeping hooks, and that's better work from him. Wardley calls him in.
Yeah, he does. Again, Adeleye just a little bit too far out. Got to double the jab up. A single shot there. Wardley, he coped with it. He's launching the attack from too far out, so he's got to get closer as Adeleye.
Has to get significantly closer. At the moment, this is being fought Fabio Wardley's way to a large extent. Good jump from Adeleye. Nice and sharp.
Again, I think Wardley there just risking things a little bit there. Hands fairly low, judging that distance, staying on the outside, trying to draw the lead of Adeleye.
It's the way that he fights, though, Richie. Relies on the reflexes, happy to hold his head high and stick his chin out, and then rely on the reflexes to get him out of range. And he's been successful at doing that so far tonight. Adeleye, of course, has the power to finish him if it doesn't work. Adeleye looking to unload the Wardley, finding some decent shots himself with his back to the ropes. Maybe the better quality in that exchange came from Wardley.
Yeah. But he's taking more risks there by taking Adeleye on in at close quarters. Tough contest. I think when Wardley's boxing at range, he seems to be in control of it more. There, he took Adeleye on a little bit, had a bit of success, but you really are risking it against a big puncher like Adeleye.
Good shot by Wardley right at the end of the round. And there's the bell. So let's hear from the man who's top of the bill tonight, Francis Ngannou, with Josh Denzel.
Mind games. He's tried to, you know, at the weigh-in, we saw him tickling your ribs, trying to make a laugh and a joke out of it. It doesn't seem to have affected you at all.
No, I know him and I know his game, so I'm not playing his game, I'm playing mine.
We know that you have full belief in yourself, and you've been working with a legend in Mike Tyson. Have you been working on anything in particular? How are you going to start fast? Many people in the boxing world saying you have to start fast and make sure this thing doesn't go the distance.
Well, I don't have to start fast. You know, I think I need to find my pace in the fight and wait for the opportunity whenever it comes.
Francis, pleasure. Good luck.
He's top of the bill tonight, Ngannou against Fury. And that's the next fight you will see tonight. I would say, while we were listening to the interview, they were more and more animated in the Adeleye corner between rounds. There's a bit of concern in there, I think, Richie, at the moment.
Yeah, because I think that... Oh, that was better!
Left hand, really good shot. And another one. Wardley just took his eye off the ball for a second there, and David Adeleye made him pay.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's more or less waiting for the referee to say break. Now, the referee isn't happy, is he?
Well, he hasn't taken a point off, and that wasn't for the punch on the break. That was for a forearm again, I suspect. I think it's the final warning. I don't think he's going to get the chance to do that again, David Adeleye. So John Latham's laid down the law. 6 rounds scheduled for 12. Neither man has been past this round before. So the second half of the fight could be fascinating if it doesn't end here.
Having said that, Wardley can't afford to take a rest on the inside when they get up close. He's got to keep switched on. Adelaye's looking for the odd shot on the inside. Got decent power. That's better for Wardley. Look, just controlling the space and the distance, especially with that jab. Oh, you can see what he's doing. He's trying to draw the lead of Adeleye, and then he's trying to come back with the counter. Counter-punching on the front foot here, Wardley. Taking a risk, setting the trap, low hands, waiting for Adeleye to strike, and then he's making him miss and come back with a shot. Good counter-punching from Wardley.
A little short jab in there from Fabio Wardley as well. Halfway through the 6th round. Adeleye with a left jab and then grabs a hold of Wardley. A minute to go.
That's a good shot from Wardley there. Good lead and another one.
Just made Adeleye take a backward step, didn't it? Just waited for his head to clear. It was a good scoring punch that from Wardley. Follows it up with a decent right hand as well. Adeleye says, I'm fine. Wardley lands another left jab. Adeleye sticks out the tongue. Blood coming from the mouth of David Adeleye.
Yeah, good shots from Wardley here. And he senses it, doesn't he? But this is where Adeleye can be very dangerous indeed.
Yeah, Wardley's just gone through the gears a little bit in the 6th round. He's just started to throw more punches, getting a little bit closer to David Adeleye, having more success. Good shot by Wardley there, the long right hand which found the chin. Adeleye showing good resilience. Good round for Wardley.
Oh, that was a tremendous, probably his best round.
Big Fraser Clark, a man you know very well, Richie.
Yeah, he's a great lad, Fraser. Olympic bronze medalist from 2020.
Your goal is to keep him breaking his base. The more time he's breaking his base, the more time he's not ready, you've got less to worry about. Okay?
The Gypsy King
keep letting him
watching the fight in the dressing room. He'll start really ramping up the preparations for his fight with Francis Ngannou very, very soon. And he's been the picture of relaxation ever since he got here to Riyadh. But he always is. I mean, he's never bothered, is he?
No. Very unpredictable. Been through it many times before.
So we're about to find out what both of these fighters are like in the second half of the contest, Richie, because both of them are coming out for the 7th round for the very first time. This is going to be informative.
Well, that last round, I think, was pretty significant for Wardley. He started to break Adeleye down, especially with that lead hand, and Adeleye took a couple of big shots on the ropes. So let's see what response we get from Adeleye, because we need one.
Wardley working behind that left jab. Adelaye's challenge remains to get close enough to land those power shots. Wardley at the moment controlling the fight behind his jab. It was Adelaye's jab in the early rounds of the fight, maybe the 1st or 2nd round, but since then, that jab of Wardley's become more and more of a factor.
Yeah, and we spoke about that. You've got to, establish a lead with that jab, measure that distance. with your lead hand. And again, just simple boxing with the lead hand there. And Adeleye, Adeley's got a dangerous jab, but he hasn't thrown half of what he should. He's been a bit lazy with his jab, as David Adeleye. But fair play to Wardley. Good boxing performance up to now.
Looks the fresher man in there as well, Fabio Wardley, when you do the eye test on the two of them.
Well, the thing is, Fletcher, as well, they're not soft jabs, these, you know. These are pretty hard jabs that Wardley's throwing. They're hitting the target, and if Adeleye occasionally comes over his front foot, the power's being doubled up. And so, you know, he's slowly breaking him down, isn't he? Right, we need a response, like I said, from Adeleye.
First time we've gone this far tonight. Martin Bacoli won in the fourth. First round stoppages for Moses Itauma and Mac Mudolph. Joseph Parker winning in the third round. Into the seventh here with just over a minute to go, and David Adeleye. Feel like at this stage of the fight, Richie, he needs some kind of success just to give himself a bit of confidence for what remains.
Well, you know, it's no way over yet. Adeley's still very dangerous. But at the moment, he's just been outboxed a little bit. And Wardley's doing the right thing.
Good shot, brilliant. The left hook was the big one. Adeleye gets to his feet. Adeleye says, I'm fine. We're about to find out if he is. Stuck his tongue out at Fabio Wardley and says, come on then, let's have it. Wardley with a great punch. Adeleye in all kinds of trouble. Adeleye fires the left hook. Wardley unloading as well. Both of them letting the punches go. Adeleye hanging on, clinging to his hopes. Wardley unloading with big punches. John Latham stops it. David Adeleye pushes the referee away, furious with the decision. But Fabio Wardley retains his British title with a stoppage victory over David Adeleye. And when he went through the gears, he was very impressive.
Fantastic there from Wardley. We spoke about a lapse in concentration, and it was Adeleye on that clinch. He just gets caught with a super left hook. That started the ball rolling. And Wardley, the way he put the finish together, that was very impressive indeed. And Adeleye, he didn't recover. The referee's jumped in. He's going to argue about it, obviously, out of the Adeleye corner, but he wasn't recovered. And Wardley there, that was a very good finish indeed.
The punch that put him down initially, Adeleye, was an absolute beauty. The medical team just making sure he's okay based on the volume of punches he took before that stoppage. John Latham jumping in quickly. Huge celebrations, of course, in the Wardley corner. But the shot to put Adeleye onto the canvas was a beauty.
Yeah, it was a good shot indeed. And it came from... First of all, it was off the break, wasn't it, where he just caught Adeleye with a super punch. Peach of a shot off the break. And then, like I said, that started it. And then he just continued with the attacks, sustained pressure, big punches. And that Adeleye, fair play to him. He gets up, but he did not recover. His legs weren't right. And Wardley then finished him off, and the referee jumps in.
No problem for Fabio Wardley going into the seventh round of a fight, and he's now stopped 16 opponents in a row. Went the distance in his professional debut, but since then he's been a wrecking man, a wrecking ball in this heavyweight division.
He boxed well there, did Wardley. Those last 2 or 3 rounds I was more impressed with him, working behind his jab, setting up his attacks, breaking his opponent down with a simple lead hand. David Adeleye, we know he's dangerous, we know he's powerful, but he didn't throw enough with that lead hand of himself. He didn't use his jab enough. Adeleye, he wasn't setting up that right hand of his. That's his power shot. Wardley, on the other hand, sometimes it was just simple boxing. He took the odd risk here and there by lowering that guard and closing that gap and drawing the lead off Adeleye. But fair play to Wardley, counter-punching on the front foot. Good counter-punches, but simple jabs that set up his right hand, and a great finish.
It was indeed. So let's have a look at the punch that put David Adeleye down. And I wondered for a second when he did hit the canvas whether he was going to be able to get up. I mean, he had that smile on his face and the tongue sticking out, but that's a beautiful shot.
Well, it is, and it's a lapse of concentration off the clinch. So they're broken away from the clinch. And Adeleye has just stood there, and then Wardley has produced a right hand and the left hook. There it is there. That's a cracking shot. But Adeleye more or less give it to him, just breaking away from the clinch and not concentrating. But fair play to Wardley, he delivered those knockout shots. Let's have a look at it again. Right hand, left hook. Yeah, that was quality there from Wardley.
just been handed the scores as they were at the time of the stoppage. Fabio Wardley was up 59-55 on 2 of the cards, and by 60 points to 54 on the other one after 6. So he was in control of it in the eyes of the judges, and there's the stoppage. David Adeleye not happy, and John Latham won't be pleased by the fact he's been pushed away like that.
No, he'll be spoken to about that, but come on, you know, he wasn't recovered. You know, Adeleye, he would have fought right to the very, very end. Of course, he would have fought on. But the referee, he's closer to the action than anyone. He's give that call, and it's probably the right call. And Wardley there has produced the power shots.
Nice to see the 2 men together in the ring, and nice to see David Adeleye fine and well after that stoppage. There's been bad blood in the build-up, but good to see them together like that at the end of the fight.
Yeah, respect to David Adeleye there for going over. There has been bad blood, but fair play to them.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 43 seconds of round number 7. Our referee in charge, John Latham, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout, still undefeated, and now the British, WBO European, WBA Continental, and Commonwealth Heavyweight Champion, Fabio Wardley.
So 4 belts for Fabio Wardley, who was holding up the 4 fingers by way of celebration in their wide margin leader on the judges' scorecards. And there's a potential opponent down the line in Big Fraser Clark, who wants to get in there, Richie, and have a word. He wants to get in there and have his say.